All right, good morning, you guys. So, I got one for you today for coffee time. I am going to cover my opinion and brief style of what I've experienced and what I haven't whenever it comes to the big trend homesteading, self sufficiency, off grid living, and farming. I grew up on a farm. Um, as we became adults, my mother, my sister, and I got in big into self. It started out with homesteading. We were real big into homesteading. Then it turned to off grid or self sufficiency. Then off grid. We got all three of us got pretty deep into it to the point where my mother made the soaps. Um, my sister was more of the chicken hoarder and more of the herbal type of person. She did the herbal. Um, we all kind of pitched in and then we all traded in different ways. Every knowledge in every category that we would learn. My mother kept building a homestead over time, which you'll get to see her video whenever she opens it up. And she opens her YouTube channel of her secondary homestead that she's building. It's not, this one I believe is going to be fully self sufficient to an extent. Her last one wasn't fully self sufficient, but you'll get to see that. Um, so I have had the comments of people mentioning, well, how can you be building a career? Because lots of people take it clear to religion and clear to break it down to the mentality lifestyle. And a lot of the times it does involve that. For example, there's been people, how are you as a woman going to sit there trying to climb the corporate ladder or become financially independent or successful with making your own money from home, and then at the same time say you don't need a job to survive, you're self-sufficient, and you're going to practice these things? Let me tell you something. It's the same concept as, until you have literally lived homesteading, making your own creamer, um, you know, only eating your own eggs, making and packaging your own meats. That was more of me and Phil's thing, was we would do the meats and whatnot. We all just traded everything. Um, until you have literally done that, you won't quite understand this, but have you ever seen a minimalist homesteader or a minimalist self-sufficiency off-grid? Seems hard for the fact that with off-grid and self-sufficiency and homesteading, a lot of the time you reuse anything that you didn't use, so you have to stack it somewhere till you need it, right? I have seen one. I have seen one. They made it very possible, and they were able to pull it off. So it's possible. Yes, you can have a career and build it, and yet still go back to the old morals of, oh, we were biometrically made to complement each other, men and women. Us women were made for this, us men were made for that. It's a very good old tradition, and that is a very good understanding that helps everybody. We do complement each other in our needs, urges, skills, what we do best. And I think it is great, and lots of people, a lot of the homesteaders and whatnot, will come back and be like, this is old stuff people lost. We need to restore it. It's horrible that it got taken from us, that, we lost our places. I disagree, because when you go and mix um, those skills and that life tradition and lifestyle that we used to have, women were a lot more skilled in a different area. Evolution came, fights, supports, the wars that required women to work. We gained experience of fulfilling, cash and money, and just evolution came. Yes, we all, our last two generations kind of fell out of it and built differently. Now I think people bring in homesteading lifestyles and the old pioneer lifestyles back, I think is great. We just brought in a new seasoning of how women have evolved to do certain things, such as handle money and understand business, understand workforce, understand all this other stuff that we otherwise wouldn't have understood. Thus, in evolution, a lot of times making women breadwinners and leaving fathers at home to learn and understand how to become a caretaker, how to cook. I and then you bring those old ways back in. Your man don't have to call up the neighbor, the local farmer neighbor, to come and hold a board up for him to nail something together. Instead, his wife can walk outside the house and come and help him with physical labor. Because why? She understands now. She can understand the process of business, trade, whatnot, due to evolution, on how to keep a production of business going, money-wise, for their farm or homestead. Thus helping the man carry the weight of the physical labor on the farm. Thus, whenever she is making a big Sunday dinner for everybody, men nowadays that they may have not known back then, now know how to pitch in and cook certain things. So I think the only thing we did is we didn't change our biometrics. We didn't change how we complement each other. What we did was maximize our skills and independence to help each other where we wouldn't have been able to before. So I think if the homesteading and old farming lifestyle comes back, it's only going to be better. There are now women doing this stuff that they weren't doing back then. Evolution happens for a reason. And so this is a contradictory, because usually when you look it up, you'll hear about one side or the other. Oh no, it should have never left. Oh no, it should never come back. So, you always hear from it. Oh no, this all worked out really well. This all worked out really well. And if we could get it to come back, I think it's very great to put work under the belts of our children, to teach our children so that whenever they do grow up and get at 16, a $15 an hour job in, modern society, they're not, oh my gosh, I deserve more, because they've never lifted a finger before, for nothing. So I think it's teaches a lot of gratitude to the full all over family. I say bring it back. I say bring it back to where we're at today, and I think it will be great because of the max knowledge and max skill set that both sides have. And this can really do great. I thought about this last night, and I'm like, this would be a perfect coffee time subject. Forgive me for my pimple. I had to pop it last night. I look beautiful, don't I? So, and to let you guys all know, I am in finances, a work from home finance agent. And for years I have practiced, studied, and had a lot of fun with, you know, farming, homesteading, off-grid self-sufficiency. Maybe not that I made it to 100% and became a giant rich YouTuber or anything, but it is things I practice. I wanted to go back, try, and see what it was really made of. And I did so. And I still do it to this day. I still do many, many things. You'll hear a rooster pop up behind me screaming in my ear. I just thought this was a perfect coffee time subject, and to let you know that you don't have to give up your modern dream to go and practice an old valuable lifestyle. It has very many values to it. And I've raised kids in today's full modern with no work, and the stage of the kids have to we all go around, feed all the animals, the plants, do all that. Even before school, everybody wakes up extra early. I've lived both sides, and I promise you, the old way is the good way. But as they get older, there's a very stretched wide range of what they can go for. But at least they have the skills of both when being raised with both. Great subject to talk about, I thought, this morning. If I should make my coffee time shorter, tell me. It's really hard to cover a lot of stuff in 10 minutes. If I need to make them longer, tell me. Please comment, please like and subscribe, and have a good day and be progressive today.